Break, and when we talk about efforts to restore the New York Central Terminal, more than likely you're thinking about the landmark in downtown or in Buffalo's Polonia neighborhood.
Yeah, but in this week's unknown story of Western New York, we find that Lockport also has a home of the Central Terminal that's long past its glory years. But like in Buffalo, there are those who dream of a brighter future.
When I saw this building 35 years ago, I fell in love with it.
Property owner Mark Davidson fell in love with a piece of history. In the late 1880s, Lockport was still a busy stop on the Erie Canal and a hub for train traffic. The New York Central Railroad, owned by the Vanderbilts, decided that Lockport's train station should reflect that.
From the people that came forth through these doors gave us the freedoms we have today. And there's pictures of guys going to World War I, going to Fort Dix, World War II, and it just bothers me that it's been sitting here for all these years and no one has ever done anything for this diamond in the rough.
At its height, 10 passenger trains pass through every day, and this grand building welcomed them and sent them off. If we walked into this when it was still brand new, what would we be seeing?
There'll be huge wooden doors right here.
Wooden doors, elaborate stonework, even Tiffany windows grace this landmark. But with the opening of the Thruway and the St. Lawrence Seaway, canal towns like Lockport lost quite a bit of their significance. The station sat abandoned and vandalized during the 1950s and 60s. In the early 70s, it was bought and turned into Union Station Restaurant. It was a success until a pair of fires in the mid-70s destroyed it. When you look at the historical images of it before the fire, when it was still an active train station, and you look at it now, describe the emotions and the thoughts that go through your head?
When I look at it now, it bothers me. It bothers me to see it in the state that it's in, and no one ever gave it the respect that it deserves.
Over the years, many different owners, including the city of Lockport, have tried and failed to resurrect the old station. Now, Mark Davidson, who's owned the property for more than a decade, has started a nonprofit organization and works to clean things up and raise the $4.5 million he estimates it'll take to bring the building back to glory. You know, a lot of the times when you hear about these restoration projects, you hear terms like mixed use or residential, but so many of the bones are still here, right down to a lot of the decorative bricks that were put here in the 1800s. Mark Davidson sees a time when this facility is brought back to its original use on the railroad.
Underneath this is all that decorative brick.
But Mark knows that the station's recent history is full of stops, starts, and unfilled promises, but he has a dream, and he is determined to push that through.
My dream for it is to be a train station once again. The trains still run by. There's freight and passenger trains that come by. And I want to see it be a train station again and have a boarding area in there for the people and an eatery, and then upstairs on the mezzanine banquet rooms for Boy Scout meetings, weddings, and turn the whole city lot into a park-like setting.
Yeah, he'd like to see that passenger line go from Niagara Falls clear to Brockport, but he's working with a team to restore the landmark, and they're looking for volunteers and donations. You can find a link to their group with more information once the story is posted at WGRZ.com.
Looks like a majestic property that's just kind of waiting for something fresh.
Yeah, a formerly majestic property looking to be majestic once again.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for that, Pete. Time to send things back.